That's so good. Yeah, what's the line? Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode in this brand new waveblaster series. I'm absolutely buzzing. I'm still in shock and I can't believe I found such a clean blaster. If you haven't watched the first video, watch that first. It's a great watch where you get to meet a great owner of one of these classics. So today the focus is on getting this ski ready for the first ride out. In all honesty, there's not that much to do, but as always, there's always Joe things to do. So first up, I need to drain the fuel. Good old Gary openly admitted that the fuel had been sat in this blaster for the best part of a year. So Jetski 101 guys, petrol pump fuel goes bad so quickly. So a general rule of thumb guys is if you're going to be leaving a jet ski for any extended amount of time, then try and coincide your last ride with emptying the tank. Now online, there's mixed opinions about leaving fuel in the tank. Either leaving 100% fuel so you get no fuel vapors, or you strip all of the fuel out. That's so good. In this case, however, my concern is more that I don't want to run bad fuel through the ski as opposed to taking fuel out for storage. I want to ride this thing. Now, in order to remove the fuel, I'm using one of these. Do you know what this is? Now you can pick these up on eBay and Amazon, they're relatively cheap. I think this one was around £8. And whilst you get a hell of a arm pump, Joe, take the time to lubricate after usage. Okay, cut. And we're back after a lot of GT85. Guys, little reminder, I always forget, once you finish pumping fuel, or ethanol, if you're ethanol fuel in the US, make sure you just put a little bit of lubricant on there because the barrel tends to actually freeze up. But guys, these things really do work. If you're going to get rid of fuel, really, really effective. However, don't listen to the ad description. They say that once you do one pump, it will act as a vacuum. Well, that's just not true. You'll be pumping pretty much the whole time you're getting rid of fuel. Now, the reason in particular, this particular siphon, siphon's very good, is it's got this super long inlet and super long outlet, which allows you to kink it and even push it right to the back of the tank, which is really, really good because on some of the tanks it's quite difficult to get right to the back to get rid of all the fuel. Now your next logical question is, yeah, but Joe, where'd you put the fuel? So I picked up these 25-litre drums, 2 for £13, which is pretty cheap. And what I'll do is I'll use the siphon, one end obviously in the petrol tank on the ski and one end in here. Then when I'm done, I'll give the fuel to my friend, as he will use the old fuel in his yard for degreasing old parts. Alternatively, if he doesn't want the fuel, then I will have to dispose of it responsibly. So I'll take it to my local waste disposal unit. Guys, I don't want to sound like a boring parent, but obviously please do dispose of your fuel responsibly. Don't get pouring it down a drain. And as hard as it is to say goodbye to fuel, if it is fuel that's making a container go yellow like this, you know the fuel's probably gone pretty bad. And most importantly, you don't want to run it through your ski. Now lastly on these tanks, I've got one of these exclusively to use with this. Not a waste disposable tub, but a 12-week washer. Now when I'm at the sea and I can't get access to a tap, these 12-week washers are insane. They give you pressurized water to be able to flush your ski, and as long as you've got a water source, then you're good to go in a pinch. Now this 12V washer is what we actually used on the purchase day with Gary, bless him, because he didn't have a water supply, so these are just a great solution, and I was able to flush the ski. I'm gonna stop talking about all these fancy products, and let's get this old fuel out. Pump. Getting some rhythm now. Flipping Nora. Arm pump. Come on, fuel. So that's the fuel out after lots of pumping. On to the next job. So next up, I'm going to be giving the ski a thorough flush just to get rid of any of the loose debris in the salt deposit. Now Gary openly admitted, as I touched on before, he was only really using a 12V washer, which for my peace of mind, I want to give it a thorough flush. Really, when you're flushing jet skis, you want to be using a good pressure garden hose, and really only use a 12V washer when you really need to. Now in order to give myself a best chance of removing any of this salt deposits, it could have been sat there for a while, I'm going to be using a product called BluThru. Now BluThru, oops, is a product specifically designed to break down salt deposits. Now, whilst using fresh water is the bare minimum and still good, these sort of products are going to give you half a chance of breaking down any salt deposits, in particular ones that have been sat there for a little bit of time. Now, this product comes in lots of different forms and you can get other brands, but this particular one comes with these tablets, which comes in this pot, nice and secure, and this adapter. You pop one of these tablets into the adapter. Now, different ratios are required for boats or if it's a jet ski. For me, I only like to use one tablet because the time it takes to dissolve one of these tablets is about the time that I feel happy and comfortable running the jet ski on the flush. Now, you clip this adapter onto your hose or your adapter which goes onto your ski, ensuring the setting is set to off to start with, being sure to not connect to the ski before the engine is started. Fire up the engine. Then attaching the adapter, then you switch the setting to soak, which will ensure the BluThru is flowing through the adapter whilst the engine is flushing. Run the ski for 30 to 45 seconds, then switch the adapter to rinse to flush the ski through for another 10 to 15 seconds. Before removing the water supply, this is why it's important to have the jet ski at a steeper incline to make sure all the water is encouraged to run out the back of the jet ski. Finally, give the jet ski a few revs to blow any of the water out of the system. Now, before you guys go crazy in the comments pointing out how you should only run the jet ski on the flush for sort of 10 to 15 seconds, guys, if you're really going to be flushing your ski thoroughly, you need to flush it for a little bit longer than that. And really, when I'm riding in the salt, I wouldn't feel confident running my ski on the flush for 10 seconds to feel confident that all of that salt is pushed through. So 60 seconds for me, I feel comfortable, 90 seconds max. The way most of the color changing technology products work is you have to basically let the product dissolve until the color changes back to a transparent to know that you've kind of used the benefit of the product. If you run your jet ski for 10 to 15 seconds, honestly, you really aren't going to be benefiting from the BluThru product. Ultimately, you have to make your mind up and do what you feel comfortable with the flushing. But for me, 90 seconds feels acceptable. So that's the flush done. Now I can move on to giving the jet ski and the trailer a nice clean. I know, it's clean for a classic, but if you look closely, you can see it's been sat in a shed for a year, getting covered in sawdust. Again, it's clean as far as classics go, but I'm looking to focus on getting it Joe standard clean. Now, if you like a deep clean, check this video out here, and this video out here, where I clean my 1991 XP and my Wave Raider, which are deep cleaning videos. Now let's get this blaster nice and clean. So next up, I'm gonna need this, which is a power washer. Now before you guys go crazy in the comments saying, Joe, you can't use a power washer on a jet ski, chill out. I'm not using it on the top, it's just on the trailer and the rear pump. Guys, to get this off, I need half a chance. Half a chance. So I'm gonna be using the greaser and this. Now it's got different, holding this like it's my baby. It's got different settings on the end. So basically you can go from a wide spray all the way into a really intense jet. Now, I don't advocate using these on the top deck of your jet ski, so don't take this as a given for me saying, Joe said you can use power washers on jet ski. It will destroy the decals and it will force water into places it shouldn't go. Now, unless absolutely necessary, pressure washers are just excessive. A garden hose is more than powerful enough, and if you use one of these up where there's near decals, electrics and all that sort of stuff, you are going to push water into places it shouldn't go, and then people wonder why their speedo stops working. On water pressure and water getting in places it shouldn't, people ask me all the time, do I wash my engine bay? Okay, so here's my take on this age-old debate. If, and it's important, if I ride in the salt water, then I will wash down the internal components, but, and it's important, but I will use this and I'll put it right to the bottom of the engine bay. Now this has got different settings. In particular, it's got like a mist setting, which is very, very low pressure. It's only going to put enough water in there to actually just, you know, wash away any of the salt deposits that's left there. The biggest mistake people make is they force water into places it shouldn't go by using too high pressure, whether it's a garden hose or a pressure washer. You really don't need pressure to get rid of salt. Ultimately, if you're washing down with enough water and you're putting it down near the bottom, then water will always find its way down. As long as you've got your jet ski on an incline, all the water will run through to the back of the ski, and as long as you've got your drain plugs open, then it will run out the back. All you should be doing is a light wash using a specific head. I know it seems a bit nerdy, but honestly guys, these ones have jet, mist, cone, flat, soaker, pretty much every setting you could want, and that just allows you to control that you're not putting excessive amount of water in there. Ultimately, when you're riding the salt, it's not as if it's gushing in, or at least it shouldn't be unless you've got something massively wrong with your jet ski. It's more just to make sure that you're dousing it away. When I bought this ski from Gary, one of the things, bless him, that he hadn't done was keep on top of actually washing out the engine bay. So as a result, I spent the last hour just getting rid of some of this like crystallization. Luckily, it's not embedded or rusted any of the part, so I've got away with this. Always do wash down if you rode in the salt. Once I get the ski washed down, put that to one side. Then I'll use some GT85, or if you're a Sea-Doo guy like me, some XPS lube. In all honesty guys, don't get really over the top with it. It has to be one lube or the other. As long as it's a water repellency and it's obviously safe on electrics and things, then make sure that you're spraying this liberally over the engine bay to get rid of it. If you've got an air compressor, even better, blow all the air away. I'll use a towel to make sure I can get rid of any of the excess water, and then I'll blow any of the water with an air compressor. This stuff where it's sat in the garage will obviously make sure that it's pushing out any of the water. They are specific sprays guys. I know online there's mixed debates on if they're actually any good. XPS lube for me has always been really, really good. I've not got any corrosion whilst using it. And likewise, put that there carefully. GT85 has also been really, really good. Don't make the common mistake of thinking WD-40 is the same as GT85. WD-40 is obviously a degreaser, which is kind of counterintuitive. This is actually a water repellency spray, so its job is to actually push water out. Then once the ski goes back into the garage, leave the engine bay compartment open, so any condensation can obviously work its way out. And in the colder months of the year, if you're riding, I always put the heater on in the garage, much to Megan's dismay. I'll put the heater on, and that will help with the condensation as well. But obviously, if you kept the lid down and you got the cover on the ski, which is what some people do, basically all that condensation sitting inside of the engine bay is then going to promote rust, which is not what you want. So make sure you're leaving it open. If you've got a garage heater, even better. Just don't rack up an energy bill like I did. Which is a nice little segue. If you're interested in how to keep your garage nice and warm, then watch this video here, where I do a whole video on garage heaters and insulating my garage door as part of the Dream Jet Ski Garage 101 series. So please go watch that and subscribe, obviously. Plus, I'll be making a full salt wash ride video, quite a mouthful there, which will be coming soon on the channel. So again, hit the subscribe button. But for today, I'll hit pause there because it's a lot of information to take in. So, rules are, you're allowed to use this on the bottom, i.e. the trailer, not your bottom, the trailer and the rear pump, but nothing else. No top, no handlebars, although it's a lot easier, splashing Megan, just use your garden hose. Okay, so let's talk waxes. Historically, I've always used this one, which is a marine gel coat specific wax, and it's definitely a great product. However, if you're like me, I'm always on the lookout for the best water beading products. What I found with this specific gel coat wax, which is a 3M one, it is a great product, like I say, but it only really lasts one ride, so you find yourself reapplying it, and it is a traditional wax. But then I found this stuff. You're probably saying, which one? Not this one. Hold this one to one side, tell you about that one as well. This stuff. I found ceramic wax and the concept of ceramic wax around 5 months ago, and well, I haven't really looked back. Boy, once you find ceramic wax, it's a game changer. Ceramic wax have proven SOI2, probably saying that wrong, SO2, put in the comments what it should be, polymers which have effective, better water beading than traditional wax. What's more, they come in a ton of different formulas, lots of different brands, and it's gel coat safe, so why wouldn't you be using ceramic wax? Now, I always use this particular turtle wax version. There is tons of different brands on the market, like I say, but I just get on really, really well with this product. It comes in 2 different variants. It comes in a wet form and it comes in a dry form. And you're probably saying that makes no sense. Both wax are wet. They get sprayed out and they're liquid. This one you apply when the ski is wet, so obviously once you've just washed a ski. This one you apply when the ski is bone dry. This is the one we're going to be using today because it gives you up to 6 months worth of longevity if applied correctly. However, this one I use, this one I use after every ride just to top up the wax level. It's super intuitive. You literally just spray it on and wash it off. However, recently, not confusing even more, put this one to one side. Megan, oh no, introduced this one. Now, they actually told us about this at a Range Rover garage, believe it or not, Land Rover garage. It's called G Technique. Now this stuff's even better than applying it like that. You don't even have to pump your finger. You apply it by clipping it to your hose, basically turning the nozzle to on, spray it all over the car. Think Demon Shine, but on steroids. And this stuff, oh my God, the beading is insane. That stuff is insane, but this stuff is insane as far as wet waxes go. Wet waxes aren't as good as dry waxes. Are you still following this? So this one is really, really easy. And what you do in the initial sense is you apply this once with the actual applicator, which is this. Now, additionally, after that, you can take the actual product in here, dilute it down, and then you can spray it on with just like a pumped-based applicator, because you only really need to apply this every 3 to 6 months. I hate it when they say 3 to 6 months, as if 3 is close to 6 months. In reality, is it 3 or is it 6 months? But if you keep doing it, you're going to be topping up your wax. So between this, and that, and the other ones, you've got wax coming out your ears. Now, the best thing about this stuff, guys, it's not a product ad, don't worry. I'll tell you if there's ever a product ad on the channel. The ease of use is insane. You literally spray this stuff on, get a microfiber cloth, wipe it off, and literally you're good to go. The only additional step I add in is I buff it off using one of these. Do not drop this. God, this is so soft. I love this. Every time I grab it, I'm like a nerd, just literally so tactile. Buff it off, and guys, this bit just makes the shine go boom. Do you get that? Boom. So this stuff is insane. This, and honestly, your wax is going to be so deep, and when you're on a jet ski, blitzing it along, the water's spraying everywhere, you're going to see beautiful beading. So that's my product promotion over. I should be on commission. Turtle Wax, please send me lots more of this. It isn't particularly cheap. Didn't mention that bit, did I? So, hope you agree, that's the jet skiing trailer looking. As always, as soon as you put a ceramic wax on there and give it a buff, oh my God, it just brings it to life. This ski was already clean, but through the cleaning process, I've obviously seen that extra 5%. Gary, don't worry, you did a great job, but we've obviously elevated it just a little bit more, get it closer to that pure classic status. Now, lastly, the one thing I did notice whilst I was doing the cleaning of the trailer, I tried to get the winch, tied it up, but in all honesty, it's a bit of a lost cause. So I'm going to unbolt that one. Luckily, I've got another winch. I've restored so many trailers at this point that I've got about 3 other additional winches. So I'm going to strip that one off, put the new winch on, and I'm also going to take those horrible blue grab handles at the front. Again, I tried to clean those up, but they're just covered in sticky residue, so they can come off. And again, got lots of spare grips. They aren't the right color grips, but I'll make an exception just for today. Ultimately, this trailer is going to have a total overhaul, probably a brand new trailer to be fair, probably something nice and snazzy, color coded of course, but for now it's obviously going to be safe for me to get jet ski on and off. When I'm actually at the water, I am going to have to do some repairs to the actual bunk because the wood's showing through the carpet, so there are little things to do, but in general I'm really happy with the result. So last 2 jobs and then we're done. There's been quite a lot in this video. So guys, that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. A lot of you guys ask me if you can follow along and see what I actually do behind the scenes. Obviously, today is a bit of everything really, but this is kind of a behind the scenes look at what I would do before getting a ski ready once I basically purchased it. So this is just after I purchased it, episode 3, and you've seen basically everything I've done before I'm going to take it on its first ride. So, hint, hint, hit the subscribe button. Next episode is going to be just that, the ride video. Next week, I've got an awesome video planned. I think it deserves some spectacular footage. So the next video is the one you've all been waiting for, the one you've all been asking for, and it's the first ride. I'm going to do something spectacular next week. I've got a drone pilot lined up to get some epic footage of this ski, and well, it's showroom ready for its ride, ready for its debut. Yes, there are some bits that still need doing within the actual restoration, more on the trailer side of things, but that will come later in this series. But for now, that's a wrap. Guys, I say it all the time, but thank you for watching. It really doesn't go unnoticed. Your support and liking these videos, subscribing, ultimately allows me to keep buying these jet skis, restoring these jet skis, and making these videos. And I've got something super special coming soon. It's a brand new series. It's a collaboration with another brand. So guys, please hit the subscribe button because you do not want to miss that video. So guys, one more time now, but please hit the subscribe button, get me up the algorithm. Let's keep growing, and let's all collectively, you probably guessed it right now, put in the comments, keep the classics alive. Thanks for watching, guys.